episode today is about the intriguing story that revolves around the building that can be seen in Yeongamdong in Seoul. This story is sure to bring chills and horror to our whole body. This story is based on a true incident. It all started with a 3-story multi-unit building made of red brick right in an alley next to the famous Yeongamdong market. After the construction of this building, things became a dark story. Of the 14 tenants and employees who have spent time in the basement over the past 10 years, 6 of them have met an untimely death in succession. It's an old story about sinister events that have taken place within the walls of this building since the early 1990s. However, even up to these years, this story continues to echo and giving chill to people throughout the town, haunting the town's people, causing fear until they could not sleep well at night. What exactly happened to this building? Before all the strange happenings started in this building, it used to be a simple 1-story building, home to a stationery store. But in 1992, they decided to renovate it and made it a 3-story building. The basement was used for a small factory or a general store, while the upper floors became regular living quarters. The first person who set up shop in that basement area was a man named Jung Don-han. He was 56 years old when he moved there in 1992. Jung had a big dream and started building his own tailoring suite factory, and he called this J. Lisa. Unfortunately, in 1994, things changed. His business went bankrupt. He is bankrupt because he loaned 100 million won to a friend of his. Jung could not bear the weight of his problem. He decided to leave the factory in June 1994 and seek solace and peace of mind in a prayer hall in Daejeon. But after only 3 months, he could not cope with all the problems, and he lost hope. So he thought of taking his own life. In those days, no one knew that Jung's death would cause a series of tragic events. Jung's employee, Kim Moon-ho, manages the factory while Jung goes to the prayer hall. Unfortunately, despite her efforts, the business continued to lose money. Kim was left with no choice but to find a new tenant and leave the place. Eventually, 2 years pass after Kim Moon-ho. The new tenant Lee Seung-ja moves into the basement and ran a yarn factory for sweaters. However, after 2 years, his business did not do well, so he gave up and gave the store to a man named Han, who managed a clothing store. Han used the basement as a storage for clothes, but he also had to leave the place. It seems no matter who occupies the space, the shadow of misfortune surrounds them, making it impossible for their businesses to thrive. And things got even worse when a person named Kim Duk-young entered the scene. She is the next tenant. Kim Duk-young is a 48-year-old woman. She ran a sweater factory with a team of 7 employees. They built a store in the basement. But within just 1 year and 2 months of opening the factory, 3 of the 7 employees died. Each of them had a different cause of death. One died in a car accident. The other died of liver cancer. And one died of lung cancer. As if that wasn't enough, even Choi, a friend and senior manager of the factory, also died of diabetes. Their neighbors are worried because the people who work in that building keep dying one by one. According to the testimonies of people who worked there, while they were working, they could hear a strange sound, a woman's laugh, and cry of a baby. And when they sleep, they experience horrible feelings. Some say they can't move from recurring nightmares, where a girl appears as if she wants to say something. Word soon spread like wildfire about the wonders that were happening. People began to report the presence of ghosts in the building to radio stations, television, and newspapers. When Kim Duk-young moved to the basement, she weighed 93 kilos, but her weight dropped to 62 kilos due to insomnia caused by this female spirit that appears in her dreams and chokes her every night. Determined to find relief, she performed a Korean shamanistic ritual called Goot to rid the building of the evil presence. According to the shaman who performed the ritual, the place possessed the spirit of a young woman who wanted revenge not only in the basement room, but also in the entire factory building. Kim's belief that these wonders are real became strong one day when he saw a long-haired girl staring at her from the mirror. In the end, she couldn't stand the horrible atmosphere and decided to leave. Since then, the building has become a hotbed of terrifying rumors. People say they see ghosts and experience unexplained events in that building, reached the point that no one, even if it was offered for free, would dare to go inside. The building was completely abandoned. Until one day, a man named Zhang bought this place in the year 2000. Despite his efforts to secure tenants for the small factory by beautifying the area, this proved impossible due to its poor reputation. Who really wants to build their businesses in a place cursed by some vengeful female spirit? All the neighboring towns know that this building is believed to be unlucky. Difficulty in selling whoever is venturing into their business. No one is willing to venture out and set up shop there. After failing to do so, on August 17, 2002, he decided to renovate the basement and turn it into a cozy one-room studio apartment. Hoping that it will attract different tenants, so he started renovating. He decided to turn the storage space under the stairs into a bathroom. However, something bothered him. A mysterious concrete block hidden in a corner of a crowded warehouse. It measures 60 centimeters tall and 40 centimeters long and 1 meter wide. Intrigued and restless, he decided it was time to investigate further. He called for temporary workers. He ordered them to break the protruding structure under the stairs with a hammer drill. But as soon as the stone was broken, a swarm of flies came out accompanied by a very foul smell. The workers were completely bewildered by the unfamiliar smell, a smell unlike anything they had experienced before. They brought an electric fan to get rid of the smell, but it didn't help either. When the concrete block collapsed, a terrifying sight was seen that scared everyone who saw it. They saw a wrapped object, the dead body of a woman in her 50s. She was wearing a winter jacket. One part of his face was badly damaged, could not withstand the weight of thick concrete. For many years, she was trapped in that dark basement. The basement of Yungamdong is marked by a police line. It became the scene of a real incident rather than a story of ghosts and wonders that attracted much attention. Before seeing the body, the police discovered that, in addition to Jong Dong-han, Kim Duk-young's fourth employee, Kim Woon-ho, also died of cancer. Eventually, a total of 7 people connected to this building died. Even the police believe that something strange happened in this building. The discovered corpse of the woman can be likened to a mummy. By examining her teeth, the police estimated her age to be 54 years old. To find out her identity, they took fingerprints from her body and cross-referenced them to a database of missing women in her age range. In addition, they conducted thorough inquiries with the previous tenants of the building to consolidate the information obtained. After a month of investigation since the body was discovered, the culprit was finally caught. The perpetrator and the one responsible for the heinous murder. The culprit is a man named Ji, who became a business partner of Kim Duk-young, who was the last tenant to use the basement of the multi-unit building. In March 1997, Ji borrowed 12 million won from the victim. He used the borrowed money in his credit card business. However, as the months passed, Ji found himself unable to repay the borrowed money. In the month of May of the same year, a bad plan formed in his mind. He sent the victim to his factory where he mercilessly hit him with a metal pipe about 30 centimeters long, causing a fatal blow that ended the life of the victim. The victim, who was 56 years old, died. Ji decided to hide the crime by putting her body in a concrete wall. Ji used the victim's lifeless body as a makeshift support for the refrigerator trapped in the space under the basement stairs. Then, he surrounded the body with cement that he stole from nearby construction sites. The scary rumor that started with the unexplained deaths of people in the Yungamdong area ended with the arrest of Ji for stealing, killing, and dumping the corpse. The police have no solid evidence linking the body discovery to the deaths and accidents that occurred among the residents. But they can't ignore the fact that so many people died in a short time in one place. The series of unfortunate events seems too strange. Many believe that the mysterious woman who has been appearing in the dreams of many tenants of the building for years is the woman found in the concrete wall. In response to heightened fears and paranormal speculations, shamanic practitioners insist that a ritual called Jinhunji must be performed to appease the resident spirits. And the said ritual was performed. And Zhang, the old man who owns the building, also helped perform the ritual for the spirits of the dead. He performed a solemn ritual of concern and offering a prayer for the soul of the deceased to find peace. The town of Yungamdong has undergone a major reconstruction. On the exact spot where the haunted building stood, a gleaming new apartment complex appeared. It was reported that Zhang made a fortune after selling the building at a high price to an apartment constructor. Some saw it as a strange cycle of fate. They also think that it is a reward or gift for the person who discovers the hidden body. The dreaded threat was finally over. The community breathed a sigh of relief as the events would remain etched in their memories. They can now continue a peaceful and quiet life because the spirit that used to give them fear can now rest. And that ends our episode for today. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.